Hello, my name is Ryan Ashker. Welcome to Sports News right here on CW57, brought to you in part by the Red Zone. Here's what's going on in the world of sports. The Special Olympics of Wisconsin Summer Games concluded in Stevens Point over the weekend. This was the 36th year that the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point has hosted the games. Law enforcement officials from across the state participated in a torch run that culminated on Thursday to mark the beginning of the games. In addition to the 1,500 athletes, over 500 coaches and 800 volunteers were on hand to make sure that the events ran smoothly. At the games, athletes with cognitive disabilities were able to participate in track, soccer, powerlifting, and aquatic sports. The state of Wisconsin will put no more than $80 million towards a new arena, which will ensure that the Milwaukee Bucks will stay in the state. That is according to Governor Walker, who made the announcement on Thursday afternoon. The deal calls for taxpayers to front $250 million borrowed through Wisconsin's Center District of Milwaukee, which is funded by hotel, rental car, food, and beverage taxes. The governor claims not providing money for a new arena would result in the loss of $419 million, making keeping the team more cost-effective than letting them go. The Finance Committee will need to approve the measure first if the provision stays in the budget. It's unclear when they will return to resume discussions. With state championship season upon us, several local softball teams have punched their ticket to the state tournament, which will be held at Goodman Diamond here in Madison. Moving on to the next round of competition will be DeForest after beating La Crosse Central, Beloit Turner shutting down McFarland, Watertown over Menominee Falls, Poynette shutting out Cuba City, and Judah Albany getting by Cashton. The National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame announced that former University of Wisconsin Whitewater head football coach Forrest Perkins is among 27 divisional coaches who are candidates to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. To be eligible, coaches must have coached a minimum of 10 seasons and 100 games as a head coach, won at least 60% of those games, and have been retired from coaching at least 3 years. Perkins coached the Warhawks for 29 seasons from 1956 to 1984. He is currently the school's all-time leader in victories after leading UW Whitewater to 190, 88, and 8 record. Good for a .678 winning percentage. Former Madison Capitals head coach Luke Strand is making the jump to the college ranks, accepting the job of associate head coach for the Wisconsin Badgers men's hockey team. When asked about his decision to join the Badgers staff, Strand explained the opportunity to be at the University of Wisconsin for me is a bucket list opportunity that in being from the state is impossible to pass up. With the signing, Strand was also able to recruit former Capital player Will Johnson to join the Badgers team for next season. Madison College and the Goodman Foundation announced a $6 million donation that will be used to renovate the college's existing softball and soccer fields. The Irwin A. and Robert D. Goodman Sports Complex will be on the Madison College Truex campus. It is the largest financial contribution in the school's 103-year history and the largest donation awarded by the Goodman Foundation. Renovation of the complex is expected to begin in 2016. The complex will become the home field for Madison College men and women's soccer and softball teams, as well as other community interests. That is what's going on with sports. We will be right back with more of the sports news in just a moment. Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. Right now I'm joined by Natalie Toby and Drew Callen of the Janesville Jets. Thanks for joining us here in the Sports News today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us a bit about the team. Who are the Janesville Jets?
The Janesville Jets are a junior hockey team, and junior hockey is basically after high school, guys play in a league in order to earn a Division I scholarship. So guys from everywhere come to Janesville to play in order to earn a scholarship.
And being a team in that league, you guys are all about great fan experiences, getting people involved in the game. What are some of the attractions fans can experience going to a Jets game?
We've worked hard to be a very family-friendly environment. We have great ticket packages for families. We have our family 4-pack, so it's 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas for $25. It's a deal you can't really get anywhere else. We have lots of great in-game experiences, contests. We have a great mascot in Chili Bear, and it's just a great all-around environment for the family.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
You mentioned previously that you have players after high school, so you have a lot of players from basically all over the world. How do those Jets athletes fit into the Janesville community?
The first way that we fit them into our community is every single one of our players lives with a Janesville family. We call it our billet housing program. So we have some great families in the Janesville area that take our players in and make them part of their family. And we also get them very involved in the community.
Yeah, we do a lot of community service as a team. We were able to go to a blind school and play some games there, read to kids at elementary schools, and go to foster homes and hang out with kids. So it's just a good experience to get out in the community and support families in the Janesville area.
Also letting the fans get to know the players and staff as well, I would assume.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned that a lot of these athletes are trying to earn a D1 scholarship or move on to hockey at the next level. With that being said, where are some of these Jets alumni players now?
We have Jets alumni all over. We have Connor Lemarand at Miami of Ohio. We have Robin Hoagland at the University of Minnesota. We have Ross Mauerman, who is a Janesville native, that is the captain, or was the captain, of the Providence Friars that actually just won the NCAA tournament. So Janesville native just raised the cup, if you will, for NCAA hockey. And then players like Drew, who were with us last season, are headed off to college as well.
Yep, we have a lot of guys from this year's team. 2 guys also going to Miami, Ohio, Zach Laval and Grant Hutton. And then 2 guys going to the Air Force Academy, which is really cool to play, Evan Fino and Zach Yoder. And then I'm fortunate enough to be able to go to Bentley University this fall. So lots of great guys on this team this year.
Well, fantastic. Congratulations on that, Drew.
Thank you very much.
That is our friends from the Janesville Jets, Natalie Toby and Drew Callan. Folks, thanks for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. Right now I'm joined by my friends from DeForest Soccer, and these ladies actually just graduated the other day, so we want to thank them for staying up and coming in with us here today. Tim Esser, Alyssa Thalacker, and Caitlin Rowling, thank you for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having us.
So, ladies, how was your season this year?
It was pretty good. We were 22-1, and I would consider it a really successful season as a team overall.
Can definitely see that it's a strong record to go forward with. And with that success you had over the year, what can you attribute to that kind of team success or overall goals on the year?
Leadership and team chemistry are the 2 things that will take any good team and make them a great team. So we definitely have some good leaders. I got both of those sitting with me today, and team chemistry is not a problem. We're a unique team.
And you mentioned those team leaders that you brought along with us here today. Who are some of the other, outstanding team leaders, or maybe some key role players that were able to help you throughout the year?
I think that there's leaders in all of us. We work together and we push each other to be better. So.
And with that, what about individual awards, things like that? Did any of you able to make that all-conference team or something above that throughout the DeForest soccer season?
We did. We were represented pretty well in all-conference. So we had 2 first-team all-conference players, so Jordan McNeese and Alexis Peterson, 2 second-team all-conference players, and Peyton Trapino and McKenna Falbo, and then 2 honorable mention all-conference players, and one of them sitting to my side here, our goalie, Caitlin Rowling, and another defender, Holly Craig.
And I also understand, talking about before we went on today, Caitlin and Alyssa, as I said, they both graduated and they're going to be going on to school. And you both, where are you guys going to be heading next year?
I'll be going to UW-Madison to study biochemistry and Spanish.
And I'm going to Madison as well, and I'm trying to major in biology.
Wow, fantastic. Congratulations to both of you. Good luck with that going forward. Going back to the team, every team kind of has their quirks or differences or things like that. What makes your DeForest team unique?
We have a certain type of bond with food. We always, if we have time, our free time for bonding, we'll always try to have food in a way and use it as motivation to be better.
We're a state champion eating team.
Everybody needs something. And well, as much running as you ladies do in soccer, you have nothing to worry about, I'm sure, with that. But team bonding over food. Now, Coach, what do you do now in the off season as we're looking forward to get ready for next year?
Well, we'll start here in the summertime. We'll start our summer workouts, and we'll get some of our younger players, our 8th graders, up, and we'll see how they look and how they kind of work in with our players we currently have, and we go from there.
Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the Sports News. That is the DeForest Soccer Club. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Caitlin Rowling, Alyssa Thalacker, and Tim Esser will be right back with more of the Sports News in just a moment. Hello, and welcome back to Sports News. Right now, I'm very excited to be joined by my good friend James McIntyre out of Ford's Gym. James, thanks for coming back in today.
Always.
James, I noticed you brought a guest with you here. Who do we have?
This is a very exciting Brian Guzman right here. He's one of the most exciting guys we have. Great body puncher, man. Just a real good guy, man. You guys are going to get to see him July 11th on the show, Who's the Boss boxing event at the Monona Terrace, and I'll let you speak to him from here.
Looking forward to it. Brian, thanks for joining us on the Sports News today.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
Now, I understand you're originally from Puerto Rico. How did you end up coming to Wisconsin?
Well, I didn't have much of a choice because I was pretty young, but the crime rate was really high, and it was just not a place that my parents wanted to raise us as kids, and so we're here looking for a better future.
And looking for that better future, you came across boxing. What made you choose that sport? Why not something else?
Well, boxing has been religious in my family since I could remember. My cousin Eric Morel was champion of the world. My father was his trainer, so it's been something I've always looked at and admired, and I took a crack at it.
And as you said, it's been a part of your life, basically as long as you can remember. As far as your in-ring career, how did you get started with that?
Well, as a young kid, I was getting into a lot of trouble. I didn't have very stable ground to stand on, and boxing appeared and it leveled me out, and I've been going for it ever since.
And you mentioned that great pedigree that you have with your family, and now you being younger, moving ahead in the sport, where do you see yourself in the future of boxing?
Well, I'm hoping to become the world champion in 3 different weight classes. I'll start professionally at 126, I'll move up to 130, and end at 135.
Big aspirations. Now, anything that you would like our fans or the viewers to know about you? We're lucky enough to get you while you're young. You got big aspirations going forward. What can we expect out of you? What do you want our viewers to know about Brian Guzman?
Well, I just want everybody to know that I'm a very humble, positive guy. I want everybody to always stay positive, always stay focused, listen to your families, and take care of them, and stay together with them as long as you can. That's all you got at the end.
Very important stuff right there. James, while you have a moment, quick, give us an update. We have the event coming up to give our viewers a little bit more info about that and how they can get involved with the Who's the Boss event coming up.
Who's the Boss boxing event, like I said, July 11th, Monona Terrace, Saturday. You can get tickets at Ford's Gym. You can contact me personally. Some of the fighters have tickets. He'll probably have tickets. And this is going to be a great time. So you guys need to come out and you can get to see this man, Brian Guzman, do his thing. It's going to be a beautiful night.
It's going to be a great event, and I encourage you guys to check it out. James, Brian, thanks for joining us here today on the Sports News.
Thank you guys once again.
James McIntyre and Brian Guzman here on the Sports News out of Ford's Gym. Hello and welcome back to the Sports News. Right now I'm joined by Genevieve Raditz from UW-Baraboo and Sauk County. She is the volleyball coach. Coach Raditz, thanks for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So for you in your career and for athletes coming in, what are some of the advantages to choosing a smaller campus, smaller school like UW-Baraboo?
Well, I think that it offers a transition for the students coming from the smaller schools or communities, and it offers them an opportunity to build another family base, which they're used to from going from young adults to a full adult and choosing a career path.
And as you look at these student athletes and talk about that transition or how they're kind of moving on to the next step of their life, obviously athletics is something that's very important to you. I played collegiate athletics as well. What are some of the benefits that you see for these young adults, young athletes to compete in sports at the collegiate level?
I think that being a team player also teaches them how to work with different individuals with different skills. As we all know in our career choices, as they grow older and as we all grow older, you'll need to work with different skill levels as well. And being an athlete allows you that opportunity. It also teaches you time management, and that's an important skill that everyone needs to have for their future.
Especially that skill being, a student athlete, being able to divide your time, things like that. Aside from those skills, what sort of values can be placed or principles that these athletes may learn being able to divide them time between being a great student for the school but also a collegiate athlete?
The values of being an athlete in our program is that they will become a mentor to other students here on campus. Whether they are a part-time student, full-time student, they mentor them and keep them focused on their studies so that they can move on to those larger schools if they so choose, or achieve their degree here at UW-Baraboo.
And I want to ask you a bit about the campus. With some of our conversations we've had from UW-Baraboo and Sauk County staff, there's some really big, exciting changes coming to the campus. Can you update us on maybe what exactly is going on and how those improvements are coming along?
Well, specifically, they have the new science edition, and that's been a real excitement for everybody there. Something new in the athletic department is that we are anticipating on having a women's basketball program. We're starting a club program this fall, and then we're advancing that into a full-blown competitive team in 2016, which we will complete with the Wisconsin Collegiate Conference.
Very exciting stuff
Yes.
going on. Now in the off season, how are you spending, a lot of your time getting ready for the upcoming volleyball year?
We have scheduled open gyms at the UW campus on Tuesday evenings. I also coach a club program during the winter months to keep children and young athletes coming into the school active with the sport as well. And it's just an all-around team and family environment. We do activities, fundraisers, we get together in the off-season. It keeps everybody motivated and keeps everybody working together as a team throughout the year.
Fantastic. Genevieve, thanks for joining us here on the Sports News today.
Thank you.
Genevieve Raddatz, volleyball coach from UW-Baraboo and Sauk County. We'll be right back with more of the sports news in just a moment. Hello, my name is Ryan Ashker with CW57 Sports. Olympian Jackie Joyner-Kersee trained and competed at the highest level of sports over the course of a 20-year career. But an Olympic training regimen can take its toll on a body. To help alleviate the pain, Jackie, like so many other Americans, were prescribed opioid medications by her healthcare provider. Joining us now on the Sports News is four-time Olympian and three-time gold medalist Jackie Joyner-Kersee to discuss her use of opioids to combat pain symptoms and a side effect she's experienced with chronic opioid use. Jackie, welcome to the Sports News. It's an honor to have you here today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about it. What do you have going on? What are you up to these days?
What I'm up to, I'm doing a lot of motivational talking, working with my community center in East St. Louis. Also a mentor to a lot of the athletes that's competing in the sport of track and field, and that's keeping me pretty busy.
I could imagine. Tell us a little bit what kind of a toll Olympic training. We have a lot of athletes that come on the show, but none of them at an Olympic level. Tell us what training your regimen is for 4 straight Olympics and how that takes a toll on your body.
Well, over the years, competing at the highest level, and not only just competing, but training and preparing to, try to be the best, and then injuries happen, and dealing with ankles from knee to shoulder, your body breaks down. And over the years of still competing at a very high level, but now as a retired athlete and still dealing with the pain of some of those injuries, and healthcare provider prescribing opioids to manage that pain, and not knowing that when from the prescribed opioids that I wasn't feeling like myself, a little bloated, and not going to the bathroom, and come to find out from the prescribed opioids that one of the common side effects is opioid-induced constipation. So I teamed up with AstraZeneca, Daiichi Sankyo to bring awareness and to encourage others to, talk to their healthcare provider about OIC.
All right, and as you said, OIC is opioid-induced constipation. What would you recommend to others that may be experiencing this problem?
I would recommend them going to visit this site, ohisee.com. Maybe different stories there. It's a blog that they might see themselves in those stories. I encourage them to go and have a conversation with their healthcare provider. You might be dealing with some symptoms and you're not feeling like yourself, but you questioning it. But go and have that conversation, with your healthcare provider. Let her know what's going on.
At what point did you start experiencing problems with the opioids?
The prescribed opioids, once I was on them, I just knew that something wasn't right. I didn't feel good myself, and even though I was trying to pretend like everything is okay, you know, sometimes not wanting to get out of the bed, being sluggish, you know, and then really it hit home when I wasn't able to go to the bathroom, you know, for days in. So it's like, well, something's not right. So I put my pride to the side and went and had a conversation with my healthcare provider, and little did I know that common side effects of it is OIC.
Very interesting. I want to ask you quickly, while you have you on, what your experience was being, you know, not only a two-sport athlete at UCLA, but also being named the best female athlete of all time according to Sports Illustrated for women.
You know, is a great honor, and I keep things in perspective, and I gave my all to the sport and giving my all, even though, you know, I'm dealing with OIC, but it's okay. You know, I wouldn't take anything away from it. You know, the pain and the agony that I went through to be the best and to be called, you know, one of the world's greatest, I'm grateful.
It's absolutely a fantastic story. Can you inform our viewers and myself one more time, if someone may be experiencing these problems or thinks it's something they could be dealing with, where can our viewers get more information about OIC?
Yes, visit OH_ISEE.com.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you again so much for joining us here on the Sports News today.
All right, thank you.
Four-time Olympic athlete, three-time gold medalist, Jackie Joyner-Kersee here on the Sports News today. We want to thank all of our guests for joining us this week on the Sports News, including Miss Jackie Joyner-Kersee. Want to thank all of you for tuning in. Want to thank our friends over at the Red Zone for being a part of the Sports News. Tune in all week long right here on CW57. Until next week, my name is Ryan Ashker, getting you back in the game.